People are always asking, is it necessary to know yoga breathing? Is it necessary to do Tai Chi? Is it necessary to, I don't know what the hell, to be psychoanalyzed? And I would ask, necessary for what? Where are you going? What do you want? Yes, sure. If you want to get to New York, it's necessary to take the highway. But where are you going? What do you mean necessary? Well, is it necessary for becoming a Buddha? Anybody want to be a Buddha? Do you know what it means to be a Buddha? How do you know you want to be a Buddha if you don't know what a Buddha is? People think, well, it would be nice to have peace of mind, to be serene, to be calm, be undisturbed by this, that, and the other. But you see, so long as you make all those things objects of desire, you are defining yourself as lacking. And a person who is looking for peace is obviously in turmoil. A person who is looking to end conflict is in conflict. And so the more you strive to stop the interior commotions, the more you are stirring them up. You are smoothing the waters with flat irons. So then, then comes up the people who say, all right, now, if you are going to tell us that meditation is not necessary, that it's all here and now, then why do you meditate? Why do you have religion at all? Why do you have rites? Why do you chant? Why do you do this, that, and the other? Why do you even talk about it? And my answer to that is, there is no good reason for it whatsoever. This is a form of joyous energy. And it's a form of dance. It's a groovy thing to do. There are all kinds of groovy things to do, and to everybody according to his taste. You can make anything whatsoever, any human activity, into meditation, simply by being with it and doing it completely to do it. In other words, when you're, say, swimming, if you really enjoy swimming, you're not swimming to get to the other side of a river or to swim so many yards or any competing with yourself or with other people like that. You're swimming to experience the water rippling past you, the floating sensation, to lie on your back and look at the blue sky and the gulls circling you. You are doing that, every moment of it. You are simply absorbed in this ripply, luminous world, looking at the patterns and the shifting net of sunlight underneath the sand way down. But that's what it's about. That's what swimming's about. So you're not going anywhere. Getting together and chanting together is what a lot of people do when they don't have television to look at. In the jungles, on the steppes, in mountain communities, since as long as anyone can remember, people got together and do a thing I call digging sound. And played with the sonic energy of the universe in just the same way as I described somebody playing with the water while swimming. And these people, when they do that, they don't worry about where they're going or what their destiny is or any nonsense of that kind, because they're completely alive. So to understand all that I'm trying to say, I would like to see if you could change your basic notions of economics. And I mean the economics of energy. We are always scrimping and saving because our economics are based on scarcity rather than exuberance. But notice that the economics of nature are allegedly wasteful. They're based on exuberance. Many more seeds than are necessary for trees. Many more spermatozoa than are necessary for people. Many more stars than anybody could conceivably want. Galaxies galore. Nature is a vast celebration of energy. But if you complain about this and say, oh dear me, it's all running out, that means, you see, that you are looking for fulfillment in time, and you say, if there is not enough future, we won't get the golden goody we're looking for at the end of the line. See, there is that feeling, there is the great golden goody. But that flower, the golden goody, isn't at the end of the line. You're in it. The radiating petals, the mandala, the great circle of the flower, is the galaxy in which you live. It is the whole universe radiating around you in which you are. And this radiation is also cycling. It's the dance in which you're involved. If you'd only realize that the purpose of life is not in the future. And if you think it is, you'll go on and on and on looking for it there and never find it. Because the future in its own way fades out in the same way as the past fades out. You get older and older and older, and if you don't come crash, you just peter out. It wasn't there. And you may feel vaguely cheated about the whole thing. You were given the come on, that there was something coming. There was that thing at the end of the line, the golden goody. But you've been sitting in it.
It's the same architect. Same exact architect. His name is Thoth. He went there with Africans from Africa and built the Teotihuacan civilization. They extended all throughout Mesoamerica, all down into Tulum, down in through the jungle, into the Yucatan Peninsula, down into Chichen Itza. All of that was built. The Mayans built nothing. And they admit they built nothing in their own records. They will teach you this when you go study archaeology and ancient civilizations in college. The Mayans built absolutely nothing. They had no knowledge. They inherited what was already there. The Aztecs, who came a couple hundred years after the Mayans, also inherited what was there. The Aztecs were another part of Mesoamerica where they were living in a valley. That valley had a volcanic eruption. The mountain behind them was a volcano. It was active. It erupted. It destroyed everything. Some of them died. They had to go find a new place to live. As they journeyed through the jungle, they stumbled upon Teotihuacan. And guess what? They moved right on in. Again, they built nothing. They built nothing. It was already there. The moon is called Lamu in the ancient Mesopotamian and Babylonian texts. It's in the tablets, and it used to be a moon of an orbiting moonlet of Tiamat. Just like Jupiter has all those moons, well, Tiamat had a lot of moons too. Tiamat was the third planet originally, and it was 4 to 6 times larger than Earth. Massive planet, supermassive, with water and life and land. And Tiamat, now in the early part of the solar system, during the early years, our solar system gravitationally captured another mini solar system. Okay, it was a brown dwarf with planets orbiting it. One of those planets, one of those moons, one of those planets crashed into Tiamat, breaking it into pieces. A huge chunk swung away, became the Earth, taking a lot of the life water and everything with it, recoalesces to Earth. It also gravitationally, it tugged the moon along with it. So the moon came to orbit. Now, much later, you find that the Anunnaki had visited the moon and converted the moon into a way station or a base, a moon base. They hollowed out a lot of the interior of this structure. They built substructures underneath the surface, and they made an entire base on the opposite side. What they did was they set the moon into a locked orbit with Earth to where only one side shows as we spin. As we rotate on our axis, the moon rotates at the same exact speed, only giving us one face, while they hide themselves on the opposite side. We call it the dark side of the moon. We discovered objects on the dark side of the moon in a mission called the Clementine mission. The Clementine mission was a military satellite, a low lunar orbiting satellite that was sent up, and it was on a low lunar orbit, and it crashed into structures on the opposite side of the moon and never came home. The ancient Commission gods didn't come from Earth at all. They came from somewhere else. And so every account, and this is not a Billy Carson idea. This is the text. This is the ancient Egyptians, the records that they left behind, and the glyphs that they left carved into temples in Egypt. They say they came from the sky, and according to them, they came from different star systems. This is well documented. So these people came from space. There are people living in space on other planets and other solar systems that look just like us. You know why?